Welcome to the 3 Minute Trading Coach. I'm Brett Steenbarger. Today we're going to be talking about creating trading checklists. Now, I wrote a recent Forbes article about a 3-item checklist that applies to peak performance. These are 3 things that we can grade ourselves on each day, each week, to see if we are performing at our peak. I've linked that Forbes article on the YouTube page for this video. But in fact, checklists can help us in many different areas of trading and in many different areas of life. Okay, so what goes into a checklist? We want to explore our successes. We want to look at what we do best when we succeed. So when we put on good trades, successful trades, what are we doing? How are we coming up with the idea? How are we structuring the actual position? When we do something well in our personal lives, when we do something well in a relationship, how did we do that? How did we reach out to the other person? How did we communicate? When we explore our strengths, when we explore our successes, we can come up with general principles of what we do when we are at our best. There's a very well-known book called The Checklist Manifesto by Atul Gawande. You can Google it. And it explores how the use of checklists can improve quality in a variety of fields, including his own field of medicine. In other words, if you define medical best practices, you can make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that each doctor is doing those practices to achieve the best medical outcomes. So, what are our best practices for trading, for our personal lives? For instance, how do I keep myself as motivated and energized as possible? What do I do in my sleeping, my eating? What do I do in how I review my performance? Everything that goes into what keeps you energized and productive can go into a checklist. Once we define the key ingredients of our success and we put them into a checklist, that becomes something we can review at the beginning of the day to be mindful of doing what we do best. It also can form the basis for a report card where we evaluate each day. Did I really do what I was meant to do? Did I really perform according to my best practices? The checklist ultimately is a way of being self-aware, of being mindful of what we do when we are successful as traders, what we do when we are successful as people. It is a great tool for coaching ourselves. Thanks again for your interest. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week trading.